Here's a great way to incorporate tradition and teachable moments around money. Hi everyone, I'm Annie. This is my channel, Annie Unleashed. If you're a returning member, I appreciate your support and your comments. This is a conversation, not a monologue. And for those that are new, welcome to the community. So recently, my preteen daughter finished her schooling, and I decided to start a new tradition and take her and a couple of her friends out for a treat. We went to a local dessert shop, but before we went there, I asked each child to bring their own money. We were going out for smoothies and some time together, some girly time, and we decided to have smoothies and celebrate. Now, these girls hadn't ever been to this dessert shop before, so it was a whole experience. And they each had to go through the process of either figuring out how to get the money from their piggy bank or asking their parents for money. Now, I didn't say what amount they should bring. I just said bring your own cash to be able to pay for your own smoothie. Now, what I did do when we were there was I did treat them to an ice cream sandwich that was made in-house at this dessert shop, and we split it 3 ways. So my daughter and her 2 friends. And I let them enjoy it, and I had my own treat. They were so elated that I was able to pay for something or buy them a treat that they didn't have to pay for. But what was most interesting is as they were discussing the year in review and talking about what had they been the most surprised by and what had they not been surprised by, the best teacher, their favorite teacher, their least favorite teacher, the drama happening with all their classmates throughout the year, right? At the end, the bills came. Now, what I prepared them for was review your bill to make sure that it's accurate, that it reflects what you actually ordered and the price is correct. Then prepare yourself to come up with a tip. So calculate the tip amount. Recently, a teacher had taught them how to move the decimal to figure out a 10% tip. So they already knew how to do that. Now they were putting it into practice, which is the most important part of knowledge, right? Applied knowledge is power. Not just knowledge by itself, but when you actually apply it, that's when your brain really starts to stick that knowledge into place. So they were able to see their receipt, look at the total, review their order, figure out their tip. Now, what I told them was you could do 10% or you could do more. Just see how you felt about the whole experience, and it's your choice. So I didn't make any decisions for them. Now, what was really funny was when the server came with the cash machine, because as adults, we're used to cash machine, card is ready, boom, 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 transaction done, right? So the server is there waiting with the cash machine, and the girls for the first time ever are looking at their receipts. They've never gone through this experience before. And as I'm reviewing with them, yes, you need to look at your bill, figure out your tip amount. And as soon as I said, figure out your tip amount, one of the girls made this face naturally like, and I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's just appreciate for a moment the fact that you had all these people servicing you. They made the food for you. You had a couple different people service you based on your needs and your requests and all of that. And they made sure that you were happy throughout your experience here. So let's have the tip as an appreciation and gratitude process. And so she kind of fixed her face real quick. The server stepped away to give us some time to calculate everything. They figured out their tip amount. I told them how to leave it. And then the person came. They needed change. So the server came, grabbed their money, figured out the change, and left them the difference. Now I said to them, now that you have the difference, make sure it was calculated correctly, take back the money that's yours, and now you've gone through a whole experience. Now, that was kind of like the simplest part of it all, but then what was really interesting is the behaviors that started happening. So one of the friends didn't have enough for her total. She was almost there, but not quite enough. And then what I noticed was I didn't get involved. I just observed and watched. What were they going to do? How were they going to resolve this by themselves? Now, I was there if they wanted to ask questions, but it's really interesting that when you leave kids to it, they'll figure things out between them. So the one girl said to the other girl, that's okay. We'll put our bills together, and I have enough for both of us. And then the understanding was that the girl who didn't have enough would pay her what she did have. They actually live in the same building as well, so they see each other. Maybe they'd figure out the rest later. I didn't get involved, but they managed to figure it out together, which was really, really interesting. When we left the store, they said it was the best day ever that they'd ever had in their life. And it wasn't even about the money, with the experience. They got to take pictures together. They got to have a smoothie and a dessert they'd never have together. They got to have fun together outside of school, and they learned something new. They felt like big grown-ups and adults because they got to use their own money and figure out the numbers, do their calculations. You know, everything that they see their parents do, they got to do for themselves. And it was amazing, and the girls were wonderful. So next time you want to incorporate a teachable moment, or maybe you want to start a new tradition, make that a teachable moment. And let me tell you that when I dropped those girls off back home, all of them said, hey, can we do this again sometime soon? So that was really special to me because it was a new idea that I had. I didn't know how it was going to go. I got all the approval from the parents, and it wasn't something that I had really planned too far in advance, but I knew that it would be something that would be really cool for the girls to have this moment together and have this experience together and incorporate money lessons real time and see how they would resolve them. So next time you have a tradition, maybe you already have an existing tradition, or maybe you're trying to create a new one, and there's potential for money lessons involved, go ahead and try it. Give them some basic foundational knowledge and then see what they do with it. It'll take them a lot farther in their money mastery than any textbook ever will. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments, what are some ways that you've incorporated money mastery lessons with your kids? I'd love to hear ideas, and what you share will help many others. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.